Conquering Crypto. Man, what a day it has been. As you can see, I am tracking the digital world acquisition. I got in today. A friend of mine told me that they might take off today. I got in too late. I did lose a few bucks today, but those are the breaks. That's how it goes. I am definitely going to be trying to see some other stuff that we can work on today, some crypto stuff, and basically we're just gonna go around the market. Maybe we'll look at a little news. One of the things that we can do as part of this YouTube is you guys can come in and you guys can ask me questions. We can talk about this stuff, okay? That's what I made the group for originally. Oh, you probably didn't hear half of that, huh? That's what I made the group for originally. So I'd really like it, if you guys are interested in any specific things, if you guys have any questions, that's what the group is there for. That's what I made Conquering Crypto for. But yeah, thank you for joining me. And let's go bounce around. Let's get into it. So the Digital World Acquisition Group, or Corp, I should say, it exploded today. Yesterday it went up. Man, 300%. Am I getting that right? Wow, 300 and 400%. Okay, but then, I guess it was a lot, But then it really took off this morning at the open and went up another 287%. Not too shabby. That's pretty good. So I did try to jump on that. I thought it was going to continue. It did not. This was not something that I could chart. So this to me was just a bigger gamble. I was going on just news alone. And I lost. You're going to have losers. You're going to have winners. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys and how it works. And today I lost. No big deal. It's money that I could lose. That's how it goes. I lost a couple hundred. That's how she goes. I'm not going to try to fight back and make sure that I can make it back. No, it doesn't work like that. I have a system that's very strict, and I'm going to adhere to it for everything else that I chart. Controlling your emotions is one of the biggest things you can do as a day trader. It's very important because you don't want to, you never know what can happen in the next 10 minutes. If something bad is happening and you're like, man, I'm down a couple hundred, I don't want to lose anymore. In the next 10 minutes, you could be up a couple hundred. Things that this is stocks and crypto, man. Now crypto, it's way more volatile. So the kind of numbers we saw today with the DWAC, the kind of numbers we saw today with that, of course, it's not typical. It also got halted a bunch of times, and I learned a new term today. I heard that when they stop and they don't let anybody trade it and they halt it, it is called a circuit breaker. One of my admins taught me that. Thank you, Brett. Very cool. Really quick, I'm going to mention Conquering Crypto is the Facebook group. Come find us. Everybody's invited. It's just like-minded traders that want to give information and try to profit together. We are also... I do have a Venmo. You can find me on Venmo. It's in the description if you guys want to tip me from all this good, juicy information. I will happily accept any tips. And if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and ask in the stream. And what else? Let's get into some more stuff. So Bitcoin. Oh, check out Bitcoin. Okay. So first of all, I would just like to mention that I did call that it was going to fall further, but because it broke the trend. But let's look what happens. Look at how interesting. This is interesting to me anyway. So let's get a good 3 hours. 2 hours, that works. Now look. We sank back down. The end of yesterday, we were inside of this tunnel. Okay, that's a tunnel. We then were able to, we fell. So this new support line was broken, meaning that it then became resistance. Okay, that's how it works. But it then fell further, it started in on the secondary trend. Now, if it was going to stay on the secondary trend, it would have been fine. We would have probably stayed with the uptrend, but it broke. But look where it broke to. As you can see, and again, this is why we draw these lines, but it broke and went down to the 60K, which is, ding, 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 a previous level of support or resistance. They mix and match. But look at that. So now we're going to see where we go from here. Now, we do have some traction. So BTC has some traction, as you can see, meaning that it could pick up here and go back up, or this could be a full-on reversal, and that's like the end of it. So I don't like to usually call things that I don't have all the info in for yet. So to me, it could still go either way. This could keep falling, or it could go up. But what I can tell you is we have support now at this level, and because we have support, it could get picked back up, and we could be headed back up. That's the kind of thing we don't know until we get more information. So somebody asked me to chart near today. Actually, I found a small group of gentlemen. We might be doing some big things together, a group of traders. And they asked me today, actually, I'm going to let them know. All right, so let's chart near. They asked me to chart near, and I will chart anything for our members or friends. And honestly, if you just ask nice, I'll probably do it for you too. So let's do some charts. Well, what do? Of course, we do our trend lines first. Boom. That looks cool. Remember, we can have secondary trends. I'm going to move this guy. So we can have secondary trends. We can have primary trends. There's all kinds of trends we can have. But it looks like we're going to be in a nice triangle for near. So with this kind of pattern, what we can do is we can make a prediction triangle. The only thing that's going to be is it's going to be angled more horizontal, so it's definitely not going to be it's not going to be like a solid way of saying like this is definitely going to happen. It's more of just really up in the air. So I'm going to show you guys what I do. I build, so because it's this wide, we'll go here. We'll go here. I don't like it. So typically I like to attach to where it actually, to where the actual points are in the price action. But you know what? It doesn't look like it's going to give me something good enough that I can work with. That's not too bad. But you see this point here? Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better. So then what we do from there typically is I kind of eyeball this. We get halfway through. And again, all this is showing me is horizontal, which means it's not a very good prediction. It doesn't give me something of an outlook. I mean, if we continued going straight, it's just horizontal. So basically, I don't go with the prediction. I just leave it alone. All right, let's move on here. All right, so that's near. I know that my guys wanted to see that charted, so we charted that. Basically, it's just a triangle, and for you guys that might be watching it, so there could be a potential. There could be a potential that this will break out one way or the other coming up in the next couple weeks. But right now, it's just pretty generic. It's very new, so it just came out in July. So there's really not a whole bunch extra going on with it. We've got a nice triangle pattern. Oh, and we do have an uptrend, so at least we can leave that. Okay, let's move on. Did we check out a little bit of DWAC? We did talk about the DWAC. The DWAC whacked me a little bit today. What are you going to do? I got whacked. Um, I still have yet to get out of it. I'm still holding, but whatever. The money that I have in there, it's not that big of a deal if it's a loss. But I would really like to recoup it just a little bit. If it gets back to 100, I might sell it all off. Anyway, irregardless. Okay. Let's see. We did our near mapping. So Tesla, let's see what Tesla did. Tesla, I saw, was fighting in the flag and flagpole area. So it's really having trouble. Let's go down. It's really having trouble. You know, that could be support now. Not gonna say that's definitely full support. We're definitely getting to a point where if Tesla can really make this 900 level like full on support, it's going to keep that, and then we're going to go up from there, which is, really cool. So keep an eye on Tesla. If you're holding Tesla, if I was holding Tesla, which I'm not, I should be, I am not holding Tesla. I've got other things, of course, a lot of other things, but Tesla's not one of the things I was holding. I wish I was, but I'm not. So that's one to watch. Look, do you see how we also have flagpole and flag? And that's really deep. Let's see, that's in there pretty good. Let's turn off this guy here. So we had flagpole, flag, and then a breakout from that. So that's what we're constantly looking for, by the way, these breakouts. These breakouts allow you to place orders in them, and that's how you can set your stop losses and take your profits when you feel like it's high enough. So this was another breakout. Now, albeit a small one, especially because it's going up against the resistance area. So, a lot can't be expected. It's not going to be like an explosion where it goes up another 40 points. I'm surprised it even made it above it. But if you'll look, we have two absolutely solid. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that to me is a good indication that this could be support now. I wouldn't bet the farm on it, but definitely keep it as a reference as this might be where Tesla is now. The market is fairly healthy. I know around the market it did okay here and there, and so it was indifferent the way it looked. I'm sorry, by the way, I did today all day. Been super busy. The wife and I are looking for a house, and we had to talk with loan officers, and then my internet died. So right in the middle of I'm streaming, there's so many important things going on. I've got 50 text messages, 100 questions, and my internet doesn't work. How do you like that? Thanks, Spectrum. You guys are great. But yeah, that's I can't. What am I supposed to do? So let's look, because we've got now another flagpole. Not really. We can still call this a flagpole. And for now, we're just going to, remember I told you can always cut through a wick. These are wicks. This is a candle. This is the body. This is the wick. You can cut through the wicks, okay? But I think you should always also have a secondary type of line system along with that, just so you can see all of the potential patterns. Remember, we can add pattern on top of pattern on top of pattern. The nice thing is, so long as we keep laying these on each other, eventually, just like in BTC, look, see, just like in here, because we drew this, because I drew this afterwards, this is all drawn weeks ago here, but you'll see where it touched. And now we can go, oh, well, is it going to fall through, or is this going to be the point where it turns around again? So this was the start of a reversal. Is it going to be a full reversal, or is now this 60K line going to be the support, and we're going to go up from there? Since we don't truly know, that's the thing, since we don't truly know, we have to wait and watch, and then we place our orders based on that. So in other words, if this falls through here in the next couple days, we know that it's probably going to continue. If it starts to go up and gain some traction, you can place a new order and ride it. But I'm not an aggressive trader. I was this morning, which is really bad. See, I don't usually like to do that, but I was hoping to ride the news. I should have waited. That's my fault. You see what happens when you don't have patience? That's my fault today. But if I did have patience, I would have waited. It's the way she goes. This guy, we're going to wait until see if it gets picked up on BTC. And right now, Tesla is looking like it's trying to grab the 60K support. Let's take a look at our ADA. Oh, see this area to watch? Look at that. Did you see this? Look at that giant wick. Oh my god. Instead of John Wick, it's Giant Wick. Giant Wick, you killed my dog. All right. Killed my prophet, Giant Wick. Coming to get you. All right. ADA is looking cool. As you can see, it's still, besides the giant wick killer, we can actually move this around a little bit. Oh, we can actually move this around. If you're ever using TradingView and you make a mistake and you don't know how to fix it real fast, Control Z brings you back. Okay, so watch. So I'm gonna throw this over here. Whoopsie daisy. Control Z brings it back. Okay, brings you back to the previous. So if any of you guys do the wild chart and do OHM, maybe I will. Brett's asking for OHM. Maybe I'll check that out in a bit. But if you're ever think you made a mistake, Control Z. You can do that with a lot of things like Photoshop and all kinds of programs. Control Z is like the undo. So I'm stretching this, but I'm also going to make a secondary. And so you see how we have our main and our secondary. So the secondary, you can consider them, by the way, whichever one you want. I could call it trend line 1, trend line 2, uptrend 1, uptrend 2. I just like to call them primary and secondary. But I always turn one into a dash or something like that. And that's just because it helps me see it better. So you see how I have these inside lines? We'll make this guy purple, because he's a little bit lighter than that. Yeah, close enough. So ADA, we'll see what happens with ADA. Resistance, ADA hasn't been doing a lot, man. It's really gotta pick up. I did get a request for OHM. So guess what we're gonna do? Let's go check it out. OHM. So I don't know which one it might be. If they get back to me, then we will. All right, so let's just get back to where we were. Tesla's looking good. Oh, our Neo. How's our Neo doing? So Neo is something that I personally jumped into. So now, again, with stocks are not as volatile as crypto, but I want to show this is an example of what I consider to be the perfect time to buy. So I drew these multiple wedges. Okay, so we have our outer wedge, inner wedge. They could be considered triangles. That's more of a wedge to me. But once it broke out, check that out. Once it broke out, that's where we can see that it's probably going to reverse. Now, it did drop today, but this is still, to me, considered to be an uptrend, and I plan on sticking with it for a bit. Their company is kind of like the Chinese Tesla, from what I understand. Yeah, so that is, anyway, NIO. So let's see. OHM, Coinbase. I don't know which one it is. Olympus. So I guess it's any of these. Cool. All right. All right. So let's take a look. Olympus. I guess I'm going to add this to my master list. I haven't even heard of this one yet. OHM. We'll get the sushi step one, I guess. Let's chart. Trend lines. Well, so you see how we have this top? This is a pretty good one to explain. So if we drew a trend line on this, okay, it would be a teeter top. So whenever I see that you just have one point up top, I don't keep it. I don't keep anything. Okay, so I just get rid of it. Um, so this is an uptrend, and that's all I'm really considering this right now. This is just basic uptrend. It's been in an uptrend now. It's been in an uptrend since. Oh, let's see. We're going back a little ways, huh? It's been in an uptrend since, we'll say, the end of August. And it does clearly, this is a double top over time. It does clearly have an area that it would one day like to break through. All right, so there is going to be our resistance line. Resistance is going to be at 1480, that area. So you know what? You can probably just consider it 1500. Yeah, so this is what I usually do. I write myself that the resistance, 1500. And then usually when I put this, because I publish a lot on TradingView, usually when I do this on TradingView, I put all of that stuff there so that people can see on the chart. Like a lot of people I know don't read the descriptions. I do write, half decent descriptions. But I usually just put it up there just so you can actually see what the number is. So 1500 for OHM is going to be the big guy. And right now, besides the double top for OHM, that is really it. Sorry, let's go back. So this could, I mean, it could kind of be a head and shoulders pattern, not really. We'll just say it's in an uptrend. That's it. Just a generic, regular, basic uptrend, which of course is good. That's what you want. Major area resistance, 1500. Yeah. All right. Let's see. So Raven coin is something I've been checking out lately because it apparently is a coin that is going to do really well in the mining market, I guess. For those who mine, I mine, but I usually just mine Bitcoin. It's just easy. I use nice hash. I have a GTX 38 and a 3080 and a GTX 2070, and between both of those, I end up profiting like 400 a month after electricity costs and all that stuff. Anyway, Ravencoin. So as you can see, I had a lot going on with this previously. These are all the resistance lines. It has 3 in the local group. It did apparently break that, as you can see. Yeah. So you see these green and red lines. I'm sure you can understand what that would be. So if I placed an order in that area, let's say we place that order here, okay? Let's say we placed it now because this is a potential breakout, but it's definitely not a full breakout. If we place the order here and it met this as support, what would start happening is it would then go up from there. So you're traveling up from there. That's the idea. And we are on an uptrend. That's not a bad deal. The only problem is we still do have 2 major resistance lines coming up. That's going to be one is at 16, 17, and one is at 18. So this is actually going to be like a whole area. This whole area is going to be dangerous. So if you were to get into that, you would just have to make note of that. Right now it's at 5.125. So if you wanted to get in on that, there is a lot of potential. If this becomes support and carries up, it's looking good. So that's a little bit of Raven. That's so Raven. I have another guy in the group. We've been looking at PDEX. PDEX is still looking cool. There is a careful area that I drew up. I think this was his information. Some of it anyway. Do we have a PDEX? By the way, I have prediction lists, okay? And I get like I've gotten a lot of stuff correct. If you become a Conquering Crypto member, you are more than welcome to use it as a guideline. It's for, you know, educational purposes only. Don't think you're going to become a millionaire. But yeah, there is a lot of good stuff on there. If you ever visited it, you could see, you could definitely see that I've gotten a lot right. There's a lot in the green. Actually, here, I'm going to share that for just a second to give you an idea. Okay, so real quick, this is for members only. Okay, but as you can see, everything in green is what I hit for the month of October. For the month of September, I did pretty good too. So if you want to become a member, all you have to do is join us at Conquering Crypto on Facebook, and you too can have access to that list for nothing. In the future, there's going to be a Patreon and all kinds of other stuff for advanced things, but for now, come on in and get you some of that list. At least it's like a good outline, you know? Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. Sorry about that. So what did I write? This was a ways ago. So this was weeks ago. I drew this. PDEX is still in an upward trend. Support will have to be watched over the coming weeks. Yeah. If it goes under the red dashed line, it could fall heavily. Now, see, that's what I previously wrote myself as a warning. But you see how it got, and I'm not personally invested in this, but a member is, like I said earlier. But you see how it grabbed onto this point right here, which means we are still on an uptrend right now. It's something to be careful with, but we are still in an uptrend. In this area here, between the VPVR and the squeezing of where we are in the chart, there could be huge movements. So that's something definitely look forward. Look in your watch list and check it out. I'm gonna say that's probably it for today. We'll do one more. We'll do our Shibby Shib, our resident pup. And Shib Man is just cruising. It's not doing a whole lot. It's just cruising. I got out of it a while ago. I made my money from it. I'm real happy. But Shib is just doing a whole lot of nothing. So I'm still in this DWAC. I really would like to get out of it today. I mean, I guess I could hold on to it, but I like to use the extra cash for crypto. But anyway, yeah, guys, that is our video for this afternoon. I might make one tonight, depending. And you guys, of course, are more than welcome to join me. But that's a half an hour. We got a whole bunch of different charting things in. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, just join us next time or join the group and ask anything you want. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoy your day, and I might see you tonight. So, yeah.